Hey, B. So we back. We got to get into the ultimatum, all right? They done dropped the last two episodes, and right now we're going to discuss episode 9. It's a lot going on, but it's not a whole lot going on, okay? I feel like a lot of the scenes were drawn out, but I still kind of took notes on the dialogue, and we'll get into it. So JR first meets up with Sandy, and he asked her if she got everything that she was expecting out of this experience. And she's like, yeah, I think I got everything that I was expecting out of this experience, and then some, okay? So he says that, when it comes to her, he feels like she showed that she actually cared about who he was and saw the good in him. And he never been this vulnerable in his entire life. And he liked being open and talking about his feelings. That kind of irks me a little bit. When he talks about Sandy, I do get a bit irritated because I feel like when he discusses her, he disregards Zena and who Zena has been and who she has tried to show up to him as the entire 3 years. Even he said, I can't believe it took me 3 years to realize all of this or whatever. And I feel like it didn't take him 3 years. I feel like he knew what he was getting when he got Zena and what he had the entire time that he had her. And it does just like, it's just irritating to make it seem like this person that you've only known for three weeks has given you this grand awakening and has given you oh so much and shown you more in a short amount of time than the person that you were with for 3 years. And a lot of us can kind of see the energy and everything off of Zena just off of watching her on the screen, and you got to experience her in person and you can't see her authenticness. Like I can't with him. But anywho, um, so yeah, also, okay. Also let me say this. I got a chance. Shout out to Ramel, one of my subbies that sent it over to me. There was a podcast that Zana's friends did, and Zana's friends, I believe one of them is on like Teen Mom or some type of show like that. I can't think of her name at this moment, but they have a podcast and they were talking about this situation with Zena and, JR and stuff. And she was like, they are in a real relationship. It wasn't anything that was fake. A lot of people believe that it is, but it's not. And she says it was so interesting watching this show because of how he talks and stuff on the show. And she's like, who says that? Like he doesn't even talk like that. So it came off to me that he was putting on an act of what we're seeing on the cameras. And I agree. I agree with him, and the more I listened to him talk, the more annoyed I kind of got because I felt like he wasn't being himself for real. And there was a small point in the reunion where I felt like JR showed himself just a little bit, and we'll talk about that when we get to that video. But right now, okay, we're still on Sandy. Sandy says that they developed a real close connection, but they aren't leaving together necessarily, is what she says, right? It sounds like she's still giving him hope that we could potentially be something more at a later time, but I'm not going to leave this show with you, is what it sounds like. Okay. She says, she's hoping they still can be in each other's lives at some point, or be friends or whatever. Okay. So there's that. He says he hopes the decision that she's going to be making on that day is going to be a decision for herself and nobody else. And he says that he knows she's in love with Nick and that's not going to change anything. Okay. He says that he has a lot of love for Zena as well, and he got a lot of questions answered. That's another indicator that they weren't going to end up together. He acknowledges, Sandy being in love with Nick, but doesn't really say that he's in love with Zena. Okay. I got so many thoughts, but I feel like most of my thoughts are really going to come in when we do the reunion episode, okay? And the back and forth between them because I have a lot to say, I feel. Okay, so anywho, so Sandy says if they walk out engaged, she'll be very happy for him and Zena because she does adore and she respects both of them. But if he decides to, leave this process by himself, she'll be rooting for him on that front as well. Okay, so let's get to Zena and JR because I feel like they had a really long, drawn out conversation instead of really getting to the meat of why we're here. And I understand we're going to have some conversation before we get to the point, but I really felt like that conversation was really long. So she says, no, JR says, hold on, let me see. No. Zena says that she loves JR so much and she's more in love with him than when they started. I don't really know how she's more in love with him than when they started because I felt like he didn't really show you much. And granted, the cameras didn't really show us much, but from what they showed us, I saw her showing up more than I've seen him show up. Okay. She says she wants him to know he can have his cake and eat it too, meaning he can live his dreams and he can have his woman by his side. Okay. So JR walking to the car to get Zena out makes me think no proposal was going to go down on that day. Okay. He just seemed to be hesitant. His energy was a bit different. I just didn't think that it was going to happen. And Zena opens up about being insecure in her space of their relationship. And now she feels reassured from outsiders and him. She's reassured by outsiders that she'll make a great wife. He also tells you you'll make a great wife, but will you make a great wife for him? You need to be reassured in your actual relationship and feel secure in that relationship. And I just didn't think that he gave her that. He says he sees her in a different light now that she has grown emotionally and she's been more vulnerable with him, he says. She says she loves him deeply and has felt more comfortable with him than she has these past 3 years. Okay. He apologizes for casting doubt on her and using his past relationship to judge her. He says she's shown him a love that he's never seen before, is what he says. Okay. And even though she's shown him a love that he's never seen before, it doesn't appear that love is enough. Okay. So he goes through this whole spiel and says all of this stuff, this great stuff about her, only to say that he could see her as a wife and a mother, and he could see himself with her and giving her 100% of what he has to make her happy. Then he follows it up with saying that he doesn't think he's at that point right now, though, to give her what it is that she deserves. Now, as much as I'm like, F you, JR, I'm kind of like, good, because she didn't need you to continue to play with her high key. That's one of the best things that you can do, is free her of her time and let her go on and find the person that is really for her. Okay. What else? She says that he has a vision of a perfect husband in marriage, and she says she's always wanted to grow with him, meaning it doesn't have to be perfect, but I was just hoping that we would be at a place where we could grow together. And he says he isn't trying to be perfect, but he wants to be comfortable stepping into that world. And he just got a lot of reservation because his marriage didn't work out the first time. And he just doesn't trust himself. It's really more about himself than it is about Zena. And he says the right decision for him is to leave there single. All right. She tells him he'll be an amazing husband one day when he's ready, and that she knew that he wasn't ready. Okay. JR starts to cry, and she still calls him baby and says she loves him so much. When I see this, it makes me think that Zena is still hopeful that they are going to continue something beyond this very moment. And I'm like, are you not processing what's happening, ma'am? Like, girl, he finna go. Like, this is over. Okay. You still calling him baby, trying to wipe his tears, all of that. Like, this man finna leave you, girl. And at any moment, I ain't gonna lie, I was waiting for Sandy to come running towards him or something. I'm not gonna hold you. So she says he's still her favorite person and she loves him too. And she says, she never seen him cry, is what she says. She's never seen him cry. So I feel like JR, at some point, I was thinking he's probably going to regret this decision. But in all honesty, it was the right decision to not waste either one of their time so that y'all can move forward with finding who is going to be for the both of y'all. I think Zena is an absolutely beautiful woman inside and out. And I think men have seen this show, some of them. And they likely like, I'm finna hop in them DMs of Miss Zena and see what she's talking about. Because I guarantee you I could get her more than what that man was trying to give her. So I wouldn't be surprised, if we see her pop up with her boo. Okay, soon. So we shall see. Let's get to Mariah and Caleb. I didn't take much notes on them. I just said Mariah. Oh, Zena looked beautiful. I will say that. Her outfit, she looked great. Mariah looked beautiful as well, walking out there to Caleb, and they're sharing their thoughts and about her bringing him on this process and him not really wanting to be on this process, but, being glad that they did it or whatever. And all in all, they both said they can't wait to spend the rest of their lives with each other. And he pulls out a letter that he wrote for her and how he wants to always show up and be by her side and stuff and support her through all things. He gets down on one knee. He proposes to her, and it's all said and done. Okay. He proposes to her. She's happy. She accepts. They're good to go. Okay. There's that. If she could just get outside of self-sabotaging and stuff like that and they could work on better communication, they just may be fine, okay? Let's get to Sandy and Nick. Because Nick says he got a lot of answers, but he still has a lot of questions as well. And she says that although he gave her the ultimatum, she needed the push though, but wasn't sure if he really wanted to be with her. And I'm like, huh? You wasn't sure if he really wanted to be with you? I don't know what part of that made you think that he wasn't sure that he wanted to be with you. That might be a little projecting. So he asked her if she has a fear of commitment. And she says, marriage is scary. Basically, it's saying, yeah, or at least I have a fear of commitment of marrying your ass. Yeah. She says, but she is working on letting go and trusting. She says she really loves him with all her heart. Every fiber in her loves him. And Nick says he loves her so deeply, or he's so deeply in love with her, and he can't fathom looking into the face of someone else. So he is so locked in on this woman. He reaches in his pocket and it appears that he's about to go for a ring. And Miss Ma'am kind of stepped back for a second like, what you doing? Okay. He says it's a ring in his pocket. And she says there are still some things that we have to work through. And he asks, are those things enough for you to risk losing me? And then she says she doesn't know. It's really hard. She says she wants to make sure that she's 100,000,000% sure. Okay. That he's the one. And he says, you don't know that by now? Child, the way you kind of showed your ass, I don't expect her to know. And he says he deserves to have someone that's 100% about him. And she says that she loves him. And he says, it don't sound that way. Okay? It don't sound that way, girl. Because when I was reaching in my pocket, you was getting a little shook the hell up. So I don't really know, like, what's the vibe? Like, what's really going on? Are you sure this is what you want? Are you sure this right here is what you want? Okay? Because if this ain't what you want, then you need to let somebody know something. Okay? So then she says she loves him. And he says, it doesn't sound that way. She says she loves him so much. And he says he loves her too. But it's obviously not enough. And he came and said he came there to get the answers he needed, and it's not the answers that he wanted, but he got them. So, okay, cool. So she giving him these puppy dog eyes or whatever, and I think she said something to him like, babe, don't. And he was like, don't what? Like, what am I doing? I ain't doing that to you. Okay? So she says she really put everything into this and doesn't want to see him sad, and she wants nothing more than to walk out engaged to him. And he says, now you know, well, that's not true. You know that's not true. Right? So he doesn't feel her words and her choices are matching up anymore. And Sandy is killing I felt like Sandy was killing me acting like she really cares about him and really cares about him being sad. In that moment, I was just like, girl, stop it. Stop acting. Stop. We know you don't give a damn. Okay? You was tired of that damn man when you was doing this process. The only reason why you love him so much is because you're used to the toxicity and you're used to him. And you don't know what the future holds and you're a little bit of afraid. So you don't want to be engaged to him, but you want to still have access to him. That's what it's giving. I don't think y'all should have access to each other. I think Nick needs to go and get the healing that he needs because I don't think that Nick is ready for a marriage at all. At all, Nick. You are just not there. You're not ready, babes. Okay? And neither is she. He just felt like it was nothing else for him to talk about. And she keeps saying, babe. And he's like, why you keep babying me? Like, it ain't even no moment for, like, we done. Like, it's over. Like, it's nothing. Why are we babying? Babying for what? We done. It's over. Okay? I just knew JR was going to come walking in at any moment. Okay? I'm not going to hold y'all. All right? Now we get to Aria and Scotty. Okay? Aria and Scotty. So I feel like at the time in the beginning when I first saw them, I was like, I would not be surprised if Scotty rejects her and does not propose to her just to beat her to the punch. Because Scotty strikes me as that type of person. But that's not what happened. So he gets there, sees Aria looking beautiful, and he says he issued the ultimatum out of fear. And he says sorry if he didn't reassure her and love her how she wanted to be loved in the relationship. The way they were crying to me so hard made me think that they were about to break up. I'm like, they crying so hard because they finna leave each other. Like, it's over. It's over now. Move over. It's my turn now. Okay. That's what it was given. So he says he hopes that she felt seen in their trial marriage because he really tried. He really tried hard. I'm like, boy, if you don't cut no, you didn't. You really tried hard to make her feel away every chance you got and to make things her fault because you don't know how to accept accountability and you don't know how to apologize when you're wrong. Okay, that's what that was. That's what you tried hard about, but that's about it. Okay, so she feels like no, she says she doesn't want him to think he is the only one that compromised because she wouldn't be there if she didn't love him. Meaning, like, I compromised about some things too because I do want to be here. I do want to be with you. That's why I'm here. She feels like she should have given him more trust, but she hopes he knows that she stayed there for him, even with thoughts she always, even with certain thoughts that she may have had, but she's always loved him or whatever. Okay. He tells her he doesn't doubt her anymore, and she says she's been waiting to hear him say that because she didn't feel that. So basically, when he's telling her like, I hope that you felt seen in the trial marriage because I really tried, this is her confirming that she didn't feel that. For him to say, I don't doubt you anymore, and she's like, thanks for saying that because I didn't feel that before, that means during the trial marriage, the mission was not accomplished. For the results to be what they were, the mission was not accomplished at that time. So he wants to be her protector, he says, and be her peace and the man that she runs to and not the man that she runs away from. And I'm like, girl, he landed on thick. And what really makes me feel like he landed on thick is because of the whispering. It's not like, it's giving like, why are y'all whispering? Y'all the only ones out there, aside from production. Why are y'all whispering? Just say what you gotta say. I don't doubt you anymore. It was like y'all trying to have a rom-com moment, and it's not working for me, okay? Just say what the hell you got to say so we can move on, okay? So, anywho, he tells her she is the woman that he can't be without. He proposes. She takes a beat, and then she turns around and says yes. I just knew Aria was going to leave him down there saying no. I just knew she was not going to accept his engagement, but she did accept it. And I'm like, this is not right. I said, I'm going to accept it for what it is, but I'm hoping that y'all are not still together because I cannot take it. Like, he's not the one. He's just not. He's not the one. He's not. Like, you literally just pretty much confirmed that he did not reassure you throughout the trial marriage, and he still showed up the same way he has always shown up in the relationship, and this is not going to work. Okay? So the clownery of it all right? You had Mariah and Caleb say yes. You had Aria and Scotty say yeah. Where you had Nick, Sandy, Zena, and JR say no. Unfortunately, that's where we are. Actually, it's a good thing, okay? It's a good thing. All right? So at the end, Zena says that she plans to prioritize herself a bit more. I surely hope that you do, my love. I surely hope that you do because you deserve that. And prioritizing yourself is going to help you get closer to the person that you're supposed to be and not just let everybody play with you like that, okay? JR says he is still on a journey to find himself. I believe that you are too. I believe that, okay? Sandy says she didn't come there to get her SHI rocked. I didn't come there to get my shit rocked. Okay, she says, but she is on a search for her to find the, when you know type thing. Basically, it's like she's still on a search to find her love. Okay, so when she gets there, she knows. When you know, that's the one. Okay, so Nick plans to take this experience and grow from it and find someone that wants what he wants. And we're going to see. But Nick, before you take this experience and grow from it, you really should have said what everybody else pretty much said, which is taking some time out for yourself and getting the proper healing. I feel like, Nick, you need healing not only from this experience alone, but you also need healing from anything prior to. Anything prior to, you need healing from that too, honey. Those paintings, I know how you throw yourself into those paintings and stuff, but you need to learn how to properly respond, react, communicate when things are not going the way that you would like for them to go. And having more consideration for how the other party feels. You know what I'm saying? And also, Sandy, I think you just don't need to be in no damn relationship. If you want to be out there partying, hanging out, and kicking it and doing what you're doing, do that. Don't be out here wasting nobody else's time. Go out there and get what you're really interested in. Okay? Because I really feel like she about was interested in Nick for what he could do for her. And we probably had some good little hunching on her or something like that. But Sandy, you need to go figure your shit out too. Thompson, you still on a search to find the when you know. Girl, you need to be on a search for your damn self as well. Spend time with yourself. Get it together. Okay? But that was the finale. We learned who's interested, who's moving forward to marriage, and who the hell is not. All right. I will be back with you guys for us to discuss the reunion because it's a lot to get into. So make sure that you're liking up this video. Okay. Subscribing to the channel, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.
King of my city and cul-de-sac. Coming out swinging like soldier rags. Leading my people like quarterback. Boy, I study this shit, I'm an almanac. Had to get up and grind. Knowledge is booming, I'm here to apply. Came with the chip and the dip, it just single the mind. We finna do more to survive. I need my check. Spinning the block for the Gouda. We hitting the jeweler to flood out the net. We don't do beef for computers, I'm straight out the sewer. We come when you rest. Niggas be looking perplexed, so keeping my foot on their neck. No map, I trust my gut for the quest. With drama, I'm fully abreast. I was ready for years and they died of me. All of a sudden they tell me they proud of me. I've been dropping these haters like calories. Cross them out, I came back with some boundaries. Stand for my honor, but you run no corner. Packing the stick with a drummer. Wanna catch my bad, won't fumble. I done came too far to be